we're going to go up how to, I'm going to go over how to set up a quiz in Moodle, a new quiz, and in a later video we'll go over how to set up questions. So within your course in Moodle, I'm going to use an example course, and I'm going to turn editing on. Whenever you want to make changes, turn editing on. And in any of your sections, go ahead and click Add an Activity or Resource. Remember that once you create something, you can always move it around. We're going to click Add an Activity or Resource and choose Quiz. Add a title. If you want to put a description, so some instructions here in this description, you can choose to have that either display right on the course page so the students will see it as they're scrolling, or you can choose to uncheck that and they'll see the instructions or description when they click directly on the quiz title. There's information about timing. You can open the quiz on a particular day, have it close a particular day and time. There's a time limit and information about what you can make a choice about what happens when time expires. There isn't much under grade. Most of the grade is determined when we add questions to the quiz. You can choose a category if it's available. So we can choose quizzes. You can also add and edit categories in the gradebook setup, which is covered in another video. Layout. How do you want the quiz to look as far as how many questions per page? Question behavior, shuffle within questions. What this means is that for a multiple choice or multi-choice question, the choices are shuffled. Review options, so this is what the student can see during the quiz attempt, immediately afterwards, later while the quiz is still open, after the quiz is closed. You can change this as you see fit. The default works pretty well. You can definitely make adjustments here. Don't worry about appearance or a safe exam browser. Restrictions on attempts. If you have a student that's working with a proctor, you could add a password here and send that to the proctor. Overall feedback. You can provide descriptive, some kind of feedback based on a student's grade. So if they got an 80%, wow, you did a great job, you earned a B, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about common module settings. Restrict access. If you want the student to have completed another activity or looked at a file before they can access this quiz, you can set up an activity completion restriction. And also restrict access to the quiz by date. But you can kind of do that with the open and close dates as well. Activity completion. I usually set this as students can manually mark the activities completed because it creates kind of a checklist for them. And if for some reason you didn't set open and close dates on the quiz, I'd recommend setting a completion date instead. And this, although nothing happens when the date passes, it shows up on their calendar as a date that's important. And don't worry about tags or competencies. So we're going to save and return to course. And that's our new quiz. There are so many options within the settings for the quiz. I went through them really quickly. If you go through those, click on the little blue question marks to get more info. So anytime you see a little blue question mark, there's a little bit more info. And if you have questions about this, please don't hesitate to reach out and get help.